that deep. He starts around the
Kirby
strike.
instead. Okay.
This is, I mean, lane-wise, I mean, that's your tri-lane versus tri-lane. In the mid lane, that's going to leave the Queen of Pain against the Shadow Fiend. Another lane in which you would expect the Dire to come out on top. And top lane, Batrider, how well can he deal with the Darks here in a 1v1?
I think it's pretty even. Like,
Yeah.
the Batrider will never really die to him, and Storm actually getting a kill on the Coddle. He was behind enemy lines there. Not really sure what the game plan was by being in that position, but they do manage to get a turnaround kill, so now level 2, which means he can get Remnant, and they desperately need it against this lane. Like, there's no way you can fight without having the damage output of Remnant.
It's going to be interesting to see how these do indeed pan out. Top lane, Massacre just giving Dale a bit of a chase down, keeping the sticky napalm stacks high, and keeping him back and out of it. And that seems to be the Darks here. Hasn't been too much of an issue so far. 9 for 2 on your bat. He's finding the farm, and should be able to find pretty reasonable blink timing if the farm continues like that. Into the river, Disruptor trying to run himself away from the Nyx and the Lion. Illuminate will fly through, and Disruptor managed to nab himself a double damage here.
Oh,
now,
they're going to turn this.
I was going to say, they're potentially trapped here. PL's coming in, will get pulled back by the Storm Spirit. Thinking about a stun, they're going to throw the Lance and Illuminate onto Lion. Now they're going to turn their attention towards Miposhka. We'll get the Remnant out. They do have another Lance. This Cottle and the Stick Charge is doing work here for the aggressive tri-lane. They might even find PSM as well here.
What?
He has
He
got
turned
an
around to
impale.
attack a creep.
And it's 3 for 1. This is a very scary tri-lane.
That was a really nice combo. That was like Lance into Blast and a double damage auto attack simultaneously. Just the arrow exploded. And even though the PL is getting around the same amount of CS as the Storm, there's going to be a lot of space made, I think, for the PL during the mid game anyway, because the Batrider is having a really good laning phase. So even if the Darkseer and the Bat trade evenly, the Bat will be able to create space by just having that pressure out in the map of a Blink Dagger Initiator that you're going to have to worry about as a Shadow Fiend or even as a Storm, right? Like, you can just get picked off and die. So I still think that Pub are definitely getting maybe not a huge edge, but it's not going badly for them either.
No, it certainly isn't indeed. Oh god. Have we got the robot thing?
We sound like roboters. It's Johnny.
Johnny! What have you done?
It's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll pretend like everything's fine. As we do not know anything about the technical standpoint of how the studio is set up or any of the equipment in it. So we get to plead ignorance, Owen. That's our gift as casters.
Ooh, Johnny! We do. Yeah, that's the good thing about being a caster. It's never our fault, is it, Andy?
God, it's so good for it to not be our fault.
Something goes wrong. It's not our fault. We may be the face on the street. Top lane. That's a curry. I'm going to have to Firefly himself down to the lower ground. Yeah, I was going to be able to bottle himself up, and he's going to look for the 4-minute rune, but there's going to be a Queen of Pain here. And yeah, I think Darkseer realizes he doesn't want to be going for that. Backs himself off, has indeed got this ward here, so he knows any time that the Quap's going to be going for the rune herself.
I'm just waiting for this Queen of Pain to hit 6 so we start seeing some rotations. I think he's going to be the one who's going to go to bottom lane. They spot out the invis though. Everyone from Pub are just going to back off. They even drop a kinetic field just to be ultra safe. Make sure the Shadow Fiend doesn't gank them. But yeah, I think the Queen of Pain rotations are going to solidify the lead that Pub have. Shadow Fiend's, he can fight, but he's not known for his rotation to a lane and being able to just get kills, right? Like, he needs a haste or an invis to be able to get that kind of impact. Whereas the Queen can just blink in, throw out a Sonic Wave, and you kill heroes. Like, supports in the safe lane will just explode to that kind of damage.
I mean, even at this point, heroes like the Shadow Fiend will blow up as well. Just sitting on 663 HP at the moment. Shadow Fiend just been finding the farm in the mid lane, but so has the Quap Painter, keeping level with him. Bottom lane still. The farm looking fairly healthy, fairly good for the PL, and he really is starting to break away from this safe lane Storm. 17 for 7 against the 9 for 1 on the Storm Spirit.
I mean, what is Miposhka supposed to do? The guy leveled Vortex at level 1. Like, how are you supposed to fight with that? It's a 1-second disable that actually slows your own movement speed by 3 seconds, and they're just going to go on him. I think he's dead.
Oh, they couldn't quite get the glimpse off there. It is still just a level 1 glimpse. The range was not enough.
I think he got stunned, so he couldn't
He did
glimpse.
as well, didn't he? Yeah, by the next held him in place. But Poshka's still hanging around the tree line fairly low now. They've
turn
turned
around.
the stun. They've lost the Shadow Fiend, meanwhile, in the mid lane. They will find the Disruptor, but they lose the Storm Spirit as well. Illuminate flies through, will be reflected back, but 2 for 1, still Another favourable trade here for Pub.
Yeah, the 1v1 dying, though, is really bad because that queen almost boosts up like another complete level on top of what she already had. And Dale going for the rune steal here. He gets a bounty. He might be in trouble. No, I think he's fine, actually. He's just going to go back and get mana. I think he just counter ganks now. Maybe just walks straight bottom. Goes for more kills. Tries to keep the Storm from getting 6 for as long as possible. Like, the Storm is only level 4. So, things are not going the way they want them to.
Storm's actually going to go to the top lane, opting for a bit of safer action going on up here. And we'll leave Fervian here on his own on the line. Trying to, obviously, look towards getting that level 6 online.
Is this the infamous level 4 Storm gank?
Maybe.
I gotta say, I haven't seen something this clowny in a long time. Like, honestly, why is he here? Like, I actually am asking, why is this hero here? He has level 1 pull. He's like, he's even gonna mistime his pull to the creep wave a little bit. Alright, he gets most of it. I'm actually so confused right now.
It's not like Miposhka's. He's not had a great series, has he? It's
no. His team has given him really bad heroes both games.
Yeah.
Like maybe in this game it wasn't so bad, but the fact that he skilled the wrong ability at level 1 to try to get a level 1 kill, and then didn't get it, and then gets aggro tri-laned because they just realize, oh, this hero is actually garbage at level 1 if he just has pull. Like everything has just gone terribly wrong for Yellow Submarine.
Well, let's see who. Well, there's going to be massacre. He's got Lasui.
He's dead.
It's not pretty for the Storm.
Mega dead. They will be able to get the PL though, so that's good.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, killing off the Phantom Lancer. That's a kill that Yellow Submarine will indeed be happy with. But once more losing the Storm, and Batrider, thanks to that, it's 8 minutes in and he's 1,500 gold on the way to the Blink Dagger. So it's going to be a very scary Blink timing on your back.
Yeah, I think the Nyx is going to be pretty important in this game, and so is the Lion. Like, the supports of Yellow Submarine are the ones who are going to pull this back, if anybody. See a smoke up here from the Lion as well. He's kind of sitting around mid, maybe looking to try to kill. I think he actually just got revealed there. Yep. That is unfortunate. And it's daytime, too, so Pancha is going to realize what's going down.
Has, of course, got that Sonic Wave again. Dale and Barash still hanging around Furphy, and they're going to search him, looking to get him in position for the Hex, and we'll find it, and we'll be able to follow it up with the stun. Do they have the damage to deal with this
Oh,
quad?
no, he missed. Okay.
Nah.
Actually, even with a double raise, I think he would not have been able to kill there.
Oh, it's fixed, apparently.
Somebody's yelling.
The,
it's Johnny.
the robot audio has been fixed.
Nice. Never
Oh,
mind.
it hasn't been fixed. What? Thanks, Scriff.
First it was fixed, then it wasn't fixed, then it was fixed.
What do you say, Scriff?
Stop yelling. They can hear you.
Oh, boy. Dale. He's doing alright, actually.
He's the shining hope of the team right now.
He literally is. Talking about the lad. He's 48 for 0. Second on the board compared to the old SF. So the mech is still going to be there with respectable timing. And obviously with the Darkseer picking up the mech, it means Shadow Fiend can look towards bigger things. Picks himself up at Dreads, and now, I mean, what do you think he's going to need to go for in this matchup? Does he go something like the straight up BKB, or is he going to be looking for that Yules or Blink against this lineup?
I think honestly you just go mech, right?
The Darkseer's getting the mech though, isn't it? Or do you think the Darkseer will go straight up pipe and they'll let the Shadow
Well, he
Fiend get
could
the
go
mech?
Blink. Or no, wait, he is making mech. You're right. Yeah, okay. I didn't click on him. I guess he is going for the
Oh, Lasue on the mid lane. Lion. We'll get a stun out. But he's going down. Top lane, Nyx is in a bit of trouble. There's a PL diving him, and the PL... Oh, yes, the illusions find the kill.
mech. It's so depressing to die to an illusion.
Oh,
Like,
look at Disruptor. Is he going to get away from this? He is, isn't
yeah,
he?
he's grand. He's fine. Just gonna walk it off, no big deal. But yeah, Shadow Fiend probably goes BKB, I guess.
Okay.
Yules isn't particularly good against Phantom Lancer unless you have
Alright.
Blink. Like, you want both of them in conjunction. So if like you blink in your Requiem on top of that and hope that you time it so well that he doesn't doppelganger, because if he does, you just immediately die. Oh, bottom lane here as well.
Yeah, we're going to see Miposhka trying to find something onto the Kotl, but Kotl pops those one charges. Sonic Wave is there. And unfortunately for Miposhka, he doesn't find himself any kind of positive action. They might lose PL top. He's going to doppelganger back, trying to dodge all of this, but there's a stun coming out from the next assassin. They will have to follow up Hex from the line. There's going to be backup in the form of the Quap coming through, but the wall gets dropped down. They do find the PL, and they do find the Quap as well. So very nice play there from Yellow Submarine, getting arguably the 2 highest priority targets off the side of Pub.
Yeah, that was really nice. Unfortunately, Masakari had no way of helping. Like, he didn't even have Lasso off cooldown after ganking middle lane. So this leaves Barash also open to deal a lot of damage to the tier 1 in middle lane. The Disruptor comes back, but can he actually make anything happen here? Barash trying to actually force him back. He does have Glimpse, but he actually waits way too long. Not going to be able to turn him around. Maybe he just thought that Coddle wasn't enough to be able to kill him.
We're seeing a solo smoke here on PL. He's just going to turn so far. Because the smoke was, it was just because he was standing next to the bat. Because the bat's looking for the super potential. Will go in mid. There's going to be a wraparound here from the side of Yellow Submarine. They don't bring down Barash. Vervian's coming in. Looks for the stun onto the bat rider. They might be able to burst him
What
down.
the hell?
I believe he got
glimpsed
and then died instantaneously.
Yeah.
They will find Massacre in return. So it's a 1-for-1 trade here between the two sides. Illuminate flies through, brings him low, but the mech will be popped by Dale. It's a 1-for-1, Bat losing his life, but getting the kill onto the Shadow Fiend, arguably a trade that does favour the side of the Dire.
Yeah, the Shadow Fiend off the board is good. You want to keep him away from finishing up that mech, which he even buys a buckler. Yeah. So I don't know if that was just to try to push in middle lane, maybe miscommunication from the team, but there is definitely a mech finished. So I don't know if he's planning on making that into a Crimson or what the deal is, but the only other thing I could think of is because he has his Bassi and he has it turned on, he just wanted the additional Arma Aura to try to kill the tier 1. Like, that's literally the only reason. And I don't know if it's really worth it, but that's the choice that he's made.
Oh, they might find PL here. He's getting stunned up and locked down. He's getting low, and they will be able to bring him down before he's able to get the Doppelganger off. That's a nice pick off yet again here for Yellow Submarine. And, I mean, I guess their team, after Rocky's start, now with a few positive kills, they're hitting a very strong point at the game for themselves. With the mech, arguably with the buckler as well, with the armor, they've definitely got the potential to take these fights and take the push off the back of them.
Pushing into tier 2s is kind of tough right now, though, and Lasso's off cooldown, so they want to go.
Now PSM getting glimpsed back into the party ring, and Batrider goes straight for Dale here. Static Storm will be popped down, making it hard for Brash to get himself in. Will walk through. There's a nice vacuum from the Shadow Fiend, bringing him low, but Nyx has already gone down here on the side of the Radiant. They do manage to hex up Swift Ending here on the PL, but PL's back and he's ready to turn. Throws that Spirit Lance onto Fervian. Fervian was able to finger the Batrider. It's a 2-for-2 so far. Dale just looks to TP out and he'll get away with it. There'll be a TP out from your Shadow Fiend as well. So 2-for-2 trade there. Batrider and PL losing their, Batrider and Queen of Pain losing their life for the Lion and the Nyx. So again, Yellow Submarine, I think they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, it was trading supports for cores. I mean, that's always going to be a really good trade. It seems very sloppy, like the way Pub are playing this. They just keep walking in and just maybe assuming that they're farther ahead than they really are and getting bursted by the Shadow Fiend and the Lion combo. Like, the damage is there. It's not a matter of can they deal damage, it's just they're getting way too far out of position. Like, that Queen was just caught in the middle of their entire team. Like, why was he even there? Like, did he blink there? Did he walk there? Because there's nothing really on the side of Yellow Submarine that pulls you out of position. Like, your team has the Batrider. Just let Masakari find a hero and bring him to you. You don't have to blink into the middle of 4 heroes just to try to land a good ulti or a good scream.
Well, 9-12 at this point in the game. If we look at the net worth, we can see both Dale and indeed Barash on top of the board. PL and Batrider trying to see if they can catch anyone out here, but Dale surges himself away. And PSM keeping his distance also. Not going to find anything here, but 15 minutes in, the difference in XP, it's favouring the side of Yellow Submarine here by 2,500. 2,000 in terms of net worth. It's still nothing massive, but it's going to be something that Yellow Submarine are going to be quite content with. And if this game does end up going late, I don't know, I guess there will be a peak that Yellow Submarine hit with the Shadow Fiend, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be taking it late against the PL, surely.
Yeah, the PL will eat them alive. The thing is, the PL's farm has kind of been stagnant for a long time. Like, he just has treads and drums right now. That's not really enough. Like, he needs Diffusal to start feeling like a real threat in these engagements. And the thing is, Miposhka's had a lot of time to be able to catch up from his pretty bad laning phase. So in terms of overall farm and even net worth, he's pretty much closed the gap. between what the Phantom Lancer had during the laning phase comparative to himself. So I do not think that this game has gone nearly as well for Pub as it should have. Like, given the way the lanes worked out, they were winning bottom lane really hard. Sure, there was like a mistake or two where a support ended up dying, but that really wasn't that bad. They even dodged the invis gank from the Shadow Fiend, and they just haven't been able to really snowball that into anything big. Nice reaction time, by the way. That was insanely fast.
And all the TPs coming through as well. You do not want to be sticking around here if you're the side of Pub. And well, there'll be a leak onto Shadow Fiend and the Glimpse as well, bringing Brash out. Making it a little bit harder for him to fight. They defensively drop down the kinetic field, and they do get themselves out. And rightfully so, because they did force a 5-man reaction here from the side of Yellow Submarine. That, of course, does give PL a little bit of space and time to continue to find some farm uncontested.
He doesn't have a TP, though, so he needs the Coddle to pull him in if they want to fight. Does he still have his ulti available? Yeah, he does. Okay. But I think they actually just lose this tower.
They do have the Blink and the Lasso, and what are they going to try and go for? They Lasso onto Lukosha.
Oh, he missed the scream.
They can't bring him down. Oh, this wall and the stuns as well, holding them in it. They've lost the Batrider, the Disruptor, and they'll also lose the Kotor. It's going to be potentially Phantom Lancer. Oh, he's able to get himself back, but that initiation from Yellow Submarine, pretty scary, and the blink in from the Batrider, just a little ambitious going in on the stall.
They didn't coordinate that well at all. Like, the scream completely missed. Like, he landed the Sonic Wave, but they needed the scream follow-up. They didn't have the PL in position in time to be able to throw a Lance at the Storm. He still ends up dying, because he was just farming mid, I guess, with no health. Because that's what you do when you narrowly avoid death in a 5 versus 5, is you farm with no health. But, yeah, I don't know. This game is extremely sloppy from both sides. It's like both teams are just making really, really weird calls, and they're going to lose a Disruptor bottom tier.
Well, Swift Ending coming in, seeing if he could chase anyone down, but PSM Vendetta's out. And, well, 13 to 14 at the moment. I mean, I guess you were said about how they're playing. To give them credit, they must have played a lot of games today.
Yeah, it's been a long day. No doubt about that.
Oh, the fight is going to kick off. Is this one going to be messy as well? Barash getting leaked up. There will be a stun onto a Keeper of the Light. Lance thrown down onto Fervent. Blink 4 from Painter. Trying to find the line. They will be able to bring down the line. They'll get Barash here as well. It's a double kill for the Quap. Maybe even finding more. Dale is getting blocked by PSM here. There's going to be a Flame Break flying through. It's not going to catch the PSM. Heads to the left. He stands still as the Mana Leak is on him. Pops the Carapace. Are they going to be able to stop him from TPing out? Oh, the Illuminate. That will stop him by killing him. And they do find 3 heroes as Yellow Submarine arguably hanging around a little bit longer than they should have there.
Yeah, they went all in on a Disruptor kill and then got punished really hard for it. The Queen of Pain has actually been playing very well. I'd say the most consistent player so far that I've seen out of this Pub team. And he's just been in the right place at the right time. He did miss that one scream, but other than that, I think he's had a really solid series. And I think he's going to be the one who you're going to have to keep an eye out for if you want to continue following this team out. And
yeah. I mean, as I say, I believe he's a Turkish player that's apparently quite well known. I guess within the Turkish community, maybe people know the lad. But yeah, you're right. It was on. Oh god, it feels like ages ago. It was Shadow Fiend, wasn't it, in the first game?
Yep.
That he was doing pretty damn well on. But you're right. Some good stuff coming out from the guy. And even though saying that, still the fact that the Shadow Fiend, obviously Barash, this game as well, he's not doing too bad. Obviously been a little less impactful than the Quap, but I mean,
he bought a casual buckler and then sold it.
Oh, okay. So is that
I don't know about
you
that.
Take points away from him, but that's.
I still don't know if he just didn't look at his Darkseer or forgot that he was playing with a Darkseer. I can't really explain the ideology behind that choice, but they are going to smoke up here. Looks like a pretty big commitment to see if they can find something, or maybe just go for Roche, I guess.
Looks like Roche might be the call.
Yeah, we'll see if Pub have that game sense.
Let's have a look. What do they got coming in?
Oh, they're just baiting, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, an illusion. No. Did they notice it died, though? That's the thing, because illusions don't break smoke, and both of them use spells. So if you don't use an actual auto attack, the smoke doesn't break. So I guess they really didn't notice that?
They didn't. They're hanging around by the tier 2 as if a push is going to come in. They're not
think
aware.
They're getting ganked. Yeah, they're not expecting Roshan. They're just thinking gank. Okay, they know now. But is it too late? They've already popped mech, so if they can get engaged now, this would be a really good time.
I'll go for the play. Oh, they go straight for the Queen of Pain. can't quite bring her down there. Massacre now with Lasso onto line. The Sonic Wave, oh, they forced off the back road. They don't actually catch anyone in the Sonic Wave. It looks like they will still find the Lion, but the side of the Radiant, they do get Roshan, and Aegis will be picked up by Storm Spirit. So I think they'll be happy offering up the Lion as a sacrificial lamb there so they can get Roshan.
Yeah, that was a big blunder by Pub. They reacted very, very slowly. And then they used Lasso on a support. He had already used every single spell. Miposhka was definitely within Lasso range there, and it would have been a much better target to go for, because as most people know, Storm is one of the best Aegis carriers pretty much in the game. Now, they still would have probably given it to Shadow Fiend instead, which is still not great, but at the very least, you don't have to worry about that type of hero having it, because he's going to have his Orchid probably by the next time they engage, and they'll have Orchid and Aegis on top of it, which means he can just wreak absolute havoc on the next couple of engagements. So I still think the Yellow Submarine are very much in this game.
Oh, yeah, it certainly feels like that. And on the graphs as well, I mean, it went up to about a 5,000 lead. The Yellow Submarine did go back down, but now we see it starting to climb back up, and I'm sure after that fight kicks in and the Roshan Gold is represented on the graph, the difference is going to be even bigger. At the moment, Yellow Submarine, they do have the Shadow Fiend at the top with 8.6k, but all things said and done, still very close. And PL, the farm, pretty respectable at the moment, 8,000 gold on him. What's he got coming out to him? It is the completed Diffusal Blade. So now the scariness of the PL is just jumped up tenfold. Massacre blinking forward. Miposhka trying to fight, but he's straight into a Static Storm. Does, of course, have that Aegis, which will get popped almost immediately. See, the Batrider was just holding the Nyx Assassin in place. In comes the Storm Spirit. Is he going to look for round 2? They've already lost the line. The wall gets dropped, but the Doppelganger up to the high ground. Swift Ending's able to get himself out, and the blink as well from Quap. They both are able to avoid the wall and keeping themselves out of this fight. Keeper the Light might be in trouble as the Illuminate did proc the Carapace. He gets 4-star back. He's going to live for the time being. Blink forward from Dale. Will find the final punch onto the Kotor. Now Dale turning towards SJOK on this Disruptor. Nyx Assassin has gone down as PL is just cleaning up here with the Diffusal Blade on the Illusions. It's a 2-for-1 trade here, favouring the side of Pub. And what a time for PL to pick up that Diffusal just before that fight.
Thank God they were able to get the Aegis straight away. That fight could have went so much worse for them if the Storm had two, full lives with a full mana bar. You can do so much work. You can just pick off the supports in the back. You can just go straight on the Disruptor, try to get him to blow everything on you, which I think is kind of what happened anyway. But he just got initiated on, I think, instead of finding his own pick. But still, very nice game, or very nice execution rather, from Pub in that team fight. And only losing a Coddle, not too bad. I think they'll be quite happy with that. He is a lot less farm than we saw him, I think, in the previous game, though. 23 minutes in, didn't he have Aghanims in the first game?
He did. He did have Aghanims at 23 minutes. So I mean, obviously Yellow Submarine playing a lot better than they did in the first game. It's going a lot better for them. Miposhka this time is actually kind of scary. There will be a Lasso on the bottom lane onto PSM, and
see ya.
A roar into his ear from the Sonic Wave. He's going to melt. He's going to melt. 21-14, Fervian and Dale back themselves off on the bottom lanes. Top lane, Miposhka trying to climb his way towards that Orchid, and I think he just has. Yeah, they've got the Orchid complete now on the Storm. So the killing potential is certainly there, but they've really got to catch out the PL in these fights straight away. But otherwise, PL he's just going to slowly chip away at your supports on the back line. Suddenly they'll be gone. They'll disappear, and then he'll just turn his attention towards you. He's going to hit level 16 with this Creep Wave, and yeah, he's coming up to 2,000 gold on top of the Diffusal Blade. They do lose the Quap though. Quap dying to the bottom lane to Fervian and Dale. Looks like the old finger into wall combination was enough.
Wait, did they not see the gem? Okay, now they do. I was going to say, there's no way they just leave the gem there.
Right, free gem, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's really good actually. As being able to de-ward and trying to get map control, gem is probably the best item for the cost if you can just hold on to it. Just making sure that you can get the map control back from the enemy team. But still, I think there's some emphasis on Yellow Submarine to continue pushing. I don't think they can feel comfortable here. And they are playing very proactive, which I like. They know that they need to try to find kills.
Oh, if they can find PL here, they've got Storm with the
Orchid. He's got Diffusal. He can purge that.
And indeed, the backup does come in on time with the Lasso onto Miposhka. He's going to try and turn around the mana, but doing a fair bit of damage to him, getting him low, but the Earnest Shadow is going to top him back up from the Disruptor. PSM trying to walk it off, but he has been mana leaked. Miposhka will be able to get himself out of this fight. Now Barash, he gets tag teamed in. They want to send him into this fight. He gets glimpsed back. He tries to Manta it at the right time, but the timing won't be there. And it looks like the action is just going to disperse on both halves, and both teams will be able to get themselves out without looking for anything more.
Very fortunate that Yellow Submarine didn't end up losing anybody there. I thought for sure they would lose Miposhka, because he only has 800 HP. If you lasso him, he should die every single time. There's no way that he should be allowed to live if he gets disabled like that. But unfortunately, the PL had already been initiated on, and I think he got stunned like as the lasso came off, so he wasn't able to get any auto attacks off, wasn't able to lance or anything. So they're gonna see the queen bottom, and I think they're just gonna try to go for this because Paintia has TP, but he's not TP'd yet. Still a bit dangerous though.
They might go for the PL here, but the PL will back up.
Wow, so aggressive! Holy crap!
Yeah, let's
This is
just
insane.
straight in, and Dale as well. Very nice vacuum, but the doppelganger dodge will be there from Swift Ending. There's going to be a static storm onto 3, but where's the follow-up damage? It's not there. They've lost the Batrider. There'll be a glimpse of the Miposhka bringing him back out. PSM going ham onto the Keeper of the Light, and I think he might...
Where's the Queen?
Oh, the Wander's there, pops it. And now Swift Ending is caught out. They've lost 2. Your Queen turns up now, Driscoll, but they've already lost 2 heroes, and this
The
isn't a
Queen
fight they
could've
want to go in.
just killed 2 heroes with an ulti. Like, she has Aghanims. It's like 450 damage. That and a Scream would have killed like 2 or 3 people on the side of Yellow Submarine. That was a terrible misplay by him by not TPing. Like, they were diving between a tier 2 and a tier 3 tower. You lose 2 cores and you don't TP back? Like, the tier 1 is not worth that investment. It was a 5-man push. If you had gotten like any kills from that and you defend your tier 2, your PL doesn't die. Like, honestly, the tier 1 is not worth the sacrifice that he just made.
And this was the quap that you were saying to keep an eye out on, Andy.
Yeah, that
He's
was a
letting you
terrible
down.
decision, actually. That was really bad.
He's letting you down.
Yeah.
Come on, Paintia.
I think maybe he just wanted BKB before he fought. Like, that's the only
Yeah.
justification I can think for why he didn't just go in immediately. Because if you get Carapace stunned, it can very easily just end up killing you. And it's very hard to avoid with Queen because a lot of your abilities are AoE. Like, 2 of the 3 damage
Oh,
abilities are
Disruptor.
AoE.
You don't want to be going up there, sir.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, Massacre should be okay. Fervin's out of
Queen
mana.
has a haste.
Okay, this is
He
a
did.
deadline. PL able to get himself the gold there and the glory. Hey, it's coming up to 3,000 gold now on this PL. I guess against the Orchid, does he just want to be picking up the Manta as always, or will he be looking to skip it this game?
Yeah, you want Manta.
Just
for
get the
sure.
Manta straight up, yeah.
Even if you weren't against Orchid, you would probably still want Manta.
Yeah.
It's just another thing to stop people from being able to find the real you. That's the biggest thing. So you don't want anyone to be able to catch out the primary target and just be able to isolate it and kill it straight up. Their team isn't really even good at that, to be honest. Like, the only person who can do it is Storm. And they don't have any hero, I think, who even naturally buys a Veil, which is like the one way to know which one's real no matter what, because you can't get rid of the debuff and it just shows, it makes you purple or whatever. It's actually a kind of a neat thing, but it's very hard to utilize because not a lot of heroes naturally build into Veil unless you have like a Zeus on your team or something. But clearly Yellow Submarines do not have a Zeus, so... I still feel Pub are innately advantaged just because of their late game potential. But Yellow Submarine, the last couple of engagements, like them being so proactive around the map, has kind of kept them in the game.
It's certainly 18 to 22 at the moment, and it is
Wow,
looking very
BKB.
even. On the PL. Well,
It's a
what's-
Sing Sing build. I think Sing goes this build like almost every single game.
I guess, I mean, the lockdown and the stunning from the Nyx and the Lion, we've obviously seen be quite an issue for Swift Ending.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
it's-
I wasn't expecting him to go BKB because I
No.
don't really see many PLs do that. Now, against such a heavy disable team, like with the Nyx, the Lion, and the Storm, I definitely think it's good. I just thought that he would go the standard, just go Manta and then more stat items, you know. But I guess against Nyx, if you go more stat items, like you go Manta Scotty, the mana burn actually does a ton to you in the late game. Like, Scotty is 25 stats, and then I think Manta is like another 10 or 15 int. So the mana burns start hitting you for like, I don't know, 500-600. And that's pretty substantial in the late game.
Especially as you're saying in the draft, if it's coming at you every 4 seconds, it's scary stuff. And I guess as well that the BKBs is a nice item in the sense that we've seen PL get caught out, and even though he may not be hitting as hard as he's inevitably going to be at the latter portions of the game, he's going to be able to keep himself alive, and then with that be able to get himself out of fights and continue to just farm and find his way towards the late game when he's just going to become this unstoppable force.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely merits to BKB. Like, the nice thing is, Pub actually have 2 10-second BKBs right now. They have one on the Queen, and they have one on the PL. So as long as they time them properly, and they go in, they could pretty easily kill PSM and Fervian. Like, both those heroes are sitting less than 1,000 health against a level 17 Queen with Aghanim's ulti and a PL with Diffusal, like, you will melt to the damage that Pub has. It was just a matter of them getting disabled too much to be able to deal any damage because of the line and the Nyx playing very well. But now, BKBs change everything, so see how Pub do in the next engagement.
Oh, they're going to go straight
Nice
into the
Carapace.
PSM, but the Carapace indeed was incredibly clutch. Static Storm catches out the Storm. And with the Sonic Wave, they'll bring 2 heroes down. Dale, he's caught in the midst of it all. Will pop the Shiva's Guard, but the Diffusal Blaze hits from the PL certainly real. PL has popped the BKB, continues to fight, but the punches from the Shadow Fiend from the high ground are going to force Swift Ending to back up. Fervian going in. Actually gets glimpsed back, and that is not the glimpse you wanted, because you could have found yourself a kill there. Miposhka coming back into the fight now has found one. It's a 3-for-3 trade at the moment. Yeah, Storm brought back there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did buyback.
did
They're going to
buyback.
get the Queen for it too, so the buyback is more than worth it.
I mean, with the blink on Fervian, they might even find the collar as well here. It doesn't look like they want to go that deep, but yeah, as you said, the blink, the buyback, sorry, was very much worth it for the Storm, and they're killing the PL. They even with that BKB there, the Shadow Fiend was sitting up on the high ground, and the punches were just melting the PL.
Yeah, I think he was being very stingy with his doppelganger usage. Probably wasn't expecting Fervian to recommit and just have Finger available to be able to hit him straight up. But I think the other thing he possibly could have done is just use Doppelganger to go to the high ground and then just go on Barash. Because I think at that point the Queen was still alive. Yeah, because Paincha didn't die until the Storm had bought back and just balled in. So if he just goes to high ground with those illusions, then the Shadow Fiend suddenly, like, he didn't have Requiem anymore because he used it previously. And his BKB was also gone, which means that your illusions just annihilate him instantly. And he only has 1 raise, and that's point blank. Because if you go up the hill, you're all standing on top of him right away. So I don't know. Maybe a bit of an execution error. Roshan's up, though. It's definitely going to be the next point of contention here. The Queen is going to be alive very soon. They even give him a gem. The next fight, I think, is very, very important for both teams.
Oh, there's going to be an Orchid onto Masquerade. Will be able to force himself back. They've already lost the Disrupt. They're going to lose the Batrider as well. And I think it happened maybe sooner than we thought, Andy, but that was the next fight. And that's given Yellow Submarine Roshan, surely.
Yeah, Yellow Submarine now are just hugely advantaged. Just being able to get this Roshan. I really think that Pub should have had a huge lead by this point. Like, their lineup and the way that their lanes worked, it should have meant that they had a huge lead, but they're actually just getting outplayed a lot. Like, all the engagements that they're taking, like, they're losing their cores every single time. Like, Fervian has played an amazing game, and I also think that PSM also has done a great job at just being incredibly disruptive in these fights. Like, blinking into the Firefly and just popping the Carapace straight up just so the Bat can't get a free lasso on somebody. Like, this Bat pick has been very lackluster for me. It hasn't really done anything. Like, he's 2, 6, and 14. He's pulled, like, a handful of people out of position. But how many times this game have we seen a lasso that hasn't resulted in just getting the kill that the hero is lassoed for? Like, there was one time top where he lassoed when the PO was getting ganked, and Miposhka just casually balls away, nothing happens. The fight before, he puts out a lasso on the high ground onto PSM, gets Carapace, and then dies. Even though that fight technically went a little bit better, it's like, they're not getting the initiations they want with the Bat. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, no, it certainly feels that way at the moment. Watching Pub just come into any kind of fight that they try and take at this point of the game. It's Shadow Fiend this Shadow Fiend's getting pretty damn scary. BKB Manta style, Helmet the Dominator, Crystallis as well now, and I don't know, man. This PL's still got a fair way to go until he really is that scary. He's got the Yasha now on top of the BKB, 1200 gold, and at the same time, though, there's a BKB picked up from Miposhka, and Miposhka's already been doing fairly well in these fights. Now, he's going to be doing even better.
Yeah, I'm not really sure at this point. Like, Pub just need to buy time. Their Queen's farm is not really as scary as it used to be. Like, the Shadow Fiend is pulling ahead the longer the game goes on. She needs, like, a Hex and a Shiva's or something like that just to be able to live at this point. And even buying Shiva's against the Nyx, like, that's another thing, too, is this Nyx, like, PSM is going to become more and more important as the game goes out, because he's against 3 int heroes again, and one of the int heroes on the side of Pub is a core. So if you just mana burn the Queen like once or twice after the BKB gets down to 5 seconds, suddenly you got a hero who's like out of mana at less than half HP just because of how much int she naturally gains through item progression. It's looking pretty scary right now.
Yeah, they're in the jungle now. They'll be looking to fight. Oh, PSM is going to scout the soul out. They do have the gem on the quap. Where's the quap? There's the quap. The pings come out. He knows
He's
to
gonna have
just.
to be really
Oh,
fast
this
with the BKB.
initiation from Fervian straight onto quap. There's not a single chance to get the BKB off. She goes down. When Poshka pops his BKB, he's out of mana. Won't quite be able to chase down the Disruptor, but it doesn't matter if the vacuum's pulling him in close enough to blow him. I mean, these pickups from Yellow Submarine, they're certainly playing on another level than they were in the first game of this series.
Yeah, I think they're just going to win just due to outplay. Like, Pub are just not playing as well as they did in game number 1. I think their draft is actually better, too. I just think that they let themselves get picked too many times. They made too many mistakes. And Yellow Submarine are just able to utilize it every single time. Like, they see somebody at position, they gank. You know, they just get them straight up. Like, in that last fight, Fervian reinitiating to kill the PL in middle lane. Like, that was a good call to do. But most players would not have played that aggressive because at that point, Yellow Submarine had been losing the fight pretty hard. Like, they lose the Storm right away. He's forced to buy back. And I think they also lost another hero on top of that because of the Static Storm before anything really kicked off. But they still managed to turn it with just a buyback. They didn't even have a tier 1 mid. Like, he teleported the tier 2 and just, like, balled back into the fight and helped them win it. So, yeah, for me, Yellow Submarines, if they take it to a game 3, it will be very well deserved because I think that they've shown that the first game was not indicative of how well they can play.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a very, very even match, this one, but as you said, the play just seems to be a little bit better from Yellow Submarine this match. Both sides arguably making mistakes, but it certainly seems that Pub are making the majority at this point. But hopefully we'll be back in a second. We just got this pause, as has been requested by the side of Yellow Submarine. We still can't write off the fact they do have this PR. I kind of feel that is indeed what Pub are banking on the most. And
but he bought a BKB and then they lost a bunch of fights.
That's
like the total opposite of why you buy a BKB. Like, you buy a BKB to go in and to, like, okay, we're winning these huge engagements, right? Not only that, but in the last fight, they lost another gem. So there's 2 gems that were owned by Dire Side that are now both being held by PSM. So they've given up 2 gems. They bought 2 BKBs. They lost both fights with their fresh duration BKBs, which is like, that's what makes me think they just won't be able to win. Like, when you're fighting that poorly, when you can't, like, double BKB on 2 cores with a PL and just win the fight, that says to me that it's going to a game 3. Like, that's just how I read the game. Because the reality is, Yellow Submarine have 2 cores, and their cores are just as substantially farmed as what Pub have, and maybe even more so. Like, Barash is a beast right now. He's going to be working his way towards Daedalus. The Storm has BKB and Orchid. Like, that's all he really needs. All he needs to do is go on the Disruptor and stop him from being able to get a Storm off in a team fight, and then a lot of the utility from Pub's team is already gone, because the Batrider doesn't have BKB. So the Nyx takes care of the Batrider, the Storm takes care of the Disruptor, and then you have a PL who does some damage, but he's not really that farmed yet. I really think the only way that Pub win this game now is if Yellow Submarine start making some pretty drastic mistakes.
Well, here we go, on to the tier 2 in the mid lane. Yellow Submarine, they'll be able to take this one very, very quickly. Flamebait comes out, they put the fortification out for this, but they will still lose it, and maybe they'll look to push for more. There'll be a glimpse onto PSM. Then the strike as well. He's going to be fine. There's not going to be any follow-up coming from the side of Pub. And Yellow Submarine, do they want to try and take it to the high ground now at this point? They still have the Aegis on with Poshka, so if there is ever a time to go, this could be it. But PSM does get caught out.
Wait, did he have both gems or just one? Okay, he only had one. There's one sitting in the base. Okay. So, still an okay pick, though. It forces them back. I think the next Roshan is probably going to be the make or break for either team. If Yellow Submarine don't get it, but they don't lose a big fight, I think they're actually fine. But if Pub don't get it and they lose a fight, I think the game is just done. It's kind of anticlimactic because I really thought that the late game, the PL would be a much bigger threat. But when you go for BKB on PL, you're not, like, imagine if he had a full Manta right now and, like, an Ultimate Orb instead. Because that's about the amount of farm that he's given up by buying BKB. Then it would be like, yeah, this PL is like 1 item away from having Scotty and then suddenly being a beast. But instead, he doesn't have Manta finished. And he doesn't have Scotty. So he's not really doing anything. Don't tab out, Owen, you fool.
I'm putting the sound back on. It's on, Johnny. Yeah, it was muted. I don't know why it's muted. Is there a button on here that mutes sound?
I don't think so. I don't know what you do, Owen, when you use computers, but apparently you break them.
He's got his Manta.
Yeah.
He has got the Manta. He's got no money.
He still needs like a Scotty or a Heart and a Butterfly. Like it's a lot of farm, and not a lot of time that he has to get it. And he's also farming the opponent's woods when all 5 of them are here, so I think he just dies in like 3 seconds. Oh, did they see him? Oh, they're gonna see him.
Oh,
Doppelganger over the cliff?
Yeah, he needs to get out of there.
He's so lucky it was nighttime. Like, they didn't actually see him because of nighttime.
Well, we do have the completed Aghanims coming out for Cottle now.
Yeah.
So they've got that going.
Bat Rider's dead, though. They go for more? Miposhka doesn't have much mana. Maybe they just wait.
Yeah, Swift Ending getting himself out. Paintja. And Emperor 66. They're not going to be looking to jump into a fight anytime soon. They do back out. 27 for 26. Coming to 40 minutes in. How's Dale doing? He's pretty much halfway through the recipe to the BKB as well. On top of his Shiva's Blink and Mech. So this Darkseer, he's on par with the farm of Miposhka's Storm Spirit. He's looking very healthy and certainly proving to be an issue. And that's your Daedalus complete now in your Shadow Fiend as well for Brash.
Yeah. He's not even really Glass Cannon. He still tanks quite a bit of damage, which is having BKB and like good armor, decent amount of health. Probably goes back for Satanic, or maybe even just goes for Butterfly, and then just says "Come at me." Just right clicks whoever walks by him. I don't know, man. I still feel like Pub could win, but it's a lot less likely than it was maybe 20 minutes ago.
I guess they can keep the lanes constantly pushed out here with the PL, and it's arguably going to be rather hard for Yellow Submarine to break the base.
It's actually not so bad.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not actually going to be the worst.
They have
Really
2
with what
range
they've got.
heroes, so
Yeah.
like the Shadow Fiend and the Storm can both hit racks. The thing about Yellow Submarine's lineup is that they're amazing for picking. Like when you're playing against a late game Storm and a line with a Blink and a Nyx, like how do you rat? How do you rat against that? Like you need to be able to stay together. That's the problem. It's like their efficiency around the map by playing against these 3 heroes who all have very high solo kill potential. You have to hug each other, and by doing that, you play less efficient. And even though Yellow Submarine are walking around together right now, they're looking for kills, whereas Pub are just looking to try to farm. They know that they don't really have a good chance of fighting unless they can find a pick. But finding a pick against what Yellow Submarine have is very difficult.
Well, they go in onto Swift. Swift will put the BKB tournament to Miposhka. Miposhka has to zip himself out. Barash here looking for the Requiem. Will catch the Bat Rider and the Cottle, and Bat Rider and Cottle getting themselves that Massacre. Oh, that crit! My goodness, he's dead. Cottle's dead. I think he's dead.
God,
These
another
crit. I mean, that's damage and a half.
That's 3 heroes without buyback.
I think this isn't looking great for Bub.
I think this is a good game. Or at the very least a set of racks. I mean, it's 40 seconds before even the first support is up, and not a single one of these heroes has buyback.
This has suddenly turned into a little bit of a nightmare here for Pub. This second game of this best of 3 series, of course. The first game did go to Pub, so we will be going to a third deciding matchup between these teams. If it so goes this way, as it certainly looks like it will at the moment. Yellow Submarine having a very good game. We'll be able to take down the mid-racks, and as you said, maybe we'll look for more. Yeah, they're going to head to the bottom, and we'll take those as well, and this is going to make it very hard for Pub to come back from this deficit.
Yeah, I don't really think there's any coming back from this. They just played the last couple of engagements sub-optimally, we'll say that. I thought for a while, like watching them play, I was like, yeah, okay, they understand the laning phase, they're getting what they can. Their PL is farming decently, they're keeping down the Storm and the safe lane. Nice glimpse around the PSM, might be able to kill him or not.
Well, Barash is going to get the suit off. Did manage to get the BKB out first, so maybe they can continue to fight. There'll be a static storm onto both, but the BKB is still on Barash now. He's lost the magic immunity, and he's getting out in place as the PL does get the damage out, but the finger onto the PL to blow at the PL. PL to L does have buyback. We'll use it straight away here. They're still missing the quad for a few seconds, and Disruptor has gone down for the second time. And PL buys back, and Yellow Submarine, they'll use that as a cue to get themselves out of the base, but the base, of course, already lacking 2 sets of racks here on the side of the die.
I think they want to continue chasing. I think they're feeling a bit desperate, like they need to be able to find something else, but I don't think Yellow Submarine are going to give him anything. How did they get a mana leak off on Fervian?
Well, maybe they can find the line. Of course, he's not going to be able to TP out. This one has got to blink in a few seconds, but so's Queen of Pain. Blinking straight forward with the Scream and the dagger. Oh, and gets shoved into the tree line. Will still fall there. So they do find themselves the line, and maybe they can look for more here. They're going on to Dale. The punches onto the Batrider. Oh, the vacuum into the Impale. Sonic Wave does fly through, and the BKB as well, making sure the Spike Carapace doesn't return the damage, but they take the targets in the line. They might lose the Quap getting away just on less than 100 HP. Swift Denning pops inside the BKB. Now will turn, look to find a kill on the Nyx. Will find the Nyx assassin, but the right clicks from the Shadow Fiend. He needs to be careful. Will double going down to low ground, but in comes Miposhka looking for him. The Manta Star Jukes are there, but it's not enough. Miposhka will find the PL, and that is the PL down now for 110 seconds after that dieback. And well, in the tree lines, looking to TP out. Queen of Pain will get away. Barash won't find her, but I don't know. Yellow Submarine, even they've only got the PL and the Storm Spirit. The Storm Spirit and the Shadow Fiend. But PL's down for 90 seconds. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's not even just the fact that he's dead. It's that the lane's idly pushing the longer time that you have heroes that aren't alive. So means Roshan again going to be going for Yellow Submarine. And with that being said, I think that's just a nail in the coffin. I mean, it kind of sucks to watch a game where at 25 minutes in, one or two team fights kind of just solidify the fact that one team is going to have a substantial advantage. But Pub had a really good shot at winning this game. They had a good laning phase. Their queen was doing very well. They had a Batrider get a blink at a decent timing. They got some really good ganks off. But just a couple of really bad fights just put them so far back. I don't know.
I mean, look at the goal graph. It was ever since about the 11-minute mark, it's constantly been in favour of Yellow Submarine. It's been in the last 5 or so that it's just zipped straight up from 10k difference to coming up to 25,000 difference in terms of gold. And it's going to be even more if they can make a creep in here, which certainly seems to be the intention from Yellow Submarine. They will take themselves to tier 3. The fortification is not available for the side of Pub. They're going to lose this top racks. It is going to be mega creeps going towards the side of Yellow Submarine, and I think we might be going to a game 3, Andy.
Yep, definitely game 3. And well played by Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
Very well deserved.
I mean, compared to what we saw in the first game, I mean, why was it such a different performance from them? Was it purely the draft? How can it be so different?
Yeah, the draft put them in a much better position. And we'll see the last couple of heroes of Pub falling here. Gonna throw out an ulti just cause, trying to delay it a bit. But the biggest thing was, even though their safe lane wasn't fantastic, it was not 7 CS at 9 minutes bad, which was the same way in like the previous game. But I don't know. I really just think that this game, for me, the way that Pub played in the beginning, they should have won. But instead, it was Yellow Submarine with some really clutch plays around Roshan, and also what? Okay.
There's a pause, but Carl calls.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
It's GG. So, well played to Yellow Submarine. They do manage to even this one out. We're going to be going to a Game 3, the final deciding match. And arguably, I think, between these two teams, this is probably the biggest match of their life coming.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you can understand, like, not GGing after you lose, like, one set of racks. Even though, from a perspective standpoint of, like, watching the game, it's, like, it's clearly over. Like, they can't do anything anymore. But if you're playing for like the first time you could ever go into like TI, then I definitely understand like not tapping out. So respect to Pub for sticking it out, and big congratulations to Yes for taking it to a game 3.
Yeah, indeed, PSM, Barash, Fervian, Miposhka and Dale playing much better here in game 2. And Paintja, Massacre, Swift Ending, Emperor 606 and Shiok. And so I apologize, I'm probably butchering some of those names. They'll be meeting them again in game 3, which will be coming up very shortly, so don't go anywhere. We'll probably we'll have a quick break because I'm gonna get a drink. So don't go anywhere. Game 3 will be back very shortly. Johnny, put something on the screen. You mother trucker. What do you mean, wait, Johnny? Johnny, you're gonna do it on cue. Thank you, Johnny. We'll see you in a bit. Game 3 in a few minutes.
Excuse me, just one moment. Billy Boy, how are you, mate?
Johnny boy!